Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back to a video. With this video, I'm bringing you guys my Majespecter deck profile, and this is post Phantom Nightmare, and we're going to get started here with 3 copies of Porcupine. So this is the new Majespecter main deck monster, and the nice thing about this monster is that it's able to be special summoned out as long as you control a Majespecter monster, and then if it's normal or special summon, you can target a Majespecter spell in your grave and set it. So it's great. You're going to see a lot of combos oriented around this card, and that's why we run 3 copies of it. Then we have 3 copies of Pegasus the Draco Slayer. So this card's the main thing about this card is that it's actually able to search out our field spell. So either Majesty Pegasus here or the Secret Village of Spellcasters, which I'll talk about once we get to it. 1 copy of QB because this card is able to search out a Majespecter trap. 2 copies of Totogama because it's actually able to set 1 Majespecter spell or trap directly from your deck. 3 copies of Yada because it is able to search out your spells, which is really important, especially for your opening turn. And 3 copies of Bunbuku just because this is going to be extremely important to get out your other Majespecter monsters and to really combo off. So you really want to have these ratios at the very least. And then the 1 copy of Nekomata here. This card, you're not going to be able to use the effect a lot. It is pretty strong, just being able to search out any Majespecter card, but it's only during the end phase, so sometimes it could be irrelevant, and that's why I only have the 1 copy. Then for hand traps here, we're just stacked with a bunch of hand traps because we have a lot of space. So we have 2 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Duel, and 3 copies of Effect Veiler. There's really strong hand traps overall. Then we have 1 copy of Triple Tactic Talents just because we don't want our opponent to interact with us, and if they do, then we can at least punish them a bit for it. 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity just to search out these one-off cards that we really need. 1 copy of Called by the Grave just because this deck kind of stumbles a little bit with hand traps, so we really want to be able to stop them. 1 copy of Cyclone because we contribute a wind spellcaster monster and target 1 monster our opponent controls and destroy it. So it's just a quick play spell that's going to give us a way to interact with our opponent during their turn. Then we have 3 copies of Majespecter Wind. So this is the new quick play spell that we got in Phantom Nightmare, and this card is really strong because we contribute 1 wind spellcaster monster in order to special summon 1 Majespecter monster from our hand or grave, and if you tribute it or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can actually summon a Majespecter monster from your deck. So a lot of times you're going to be able to summon out a Majespecter from your deck, so that's always good to see. It's basically just a free summon that we can get out using this card. Then we have 1 copy of Secret Village of the Spellcasters. So this is going to be the floodgate of the deck, and what's really the win condition of the deck. You just want to search this out using the Majesty Pegasus, the Draco Slayer, set it up, and then during our opponent's turn, it's going to be very difficult for them to win without using their spells. And of course, Majesty Pegasus here is good because it is an extender. You contribute 1 wind spellcaster type monster, and then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Majespecter monster from your deck. So it's a summon that does cost you to tribute 1 monster, but it can be great just for extending. Then we have 1 copy of Majespecter Tornado because this is a form of interaction during our opponent's turn. We contribute 1 wind spellcaster type monster and then target 1 monster our opponent controls and banish it. So you can see it's just a banish for a tribute. Then we have Majespecter Tempest. When a monster would be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, we contribute 1 wind spellcaster type monster, negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So it's either a summon negate or a monster effect negate, which is pretty powerful. Okay guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because the combos are coming real soon. And we're going to start it here with Zeus because we do have a few XCs. 2 copies of Majespecter Draco Ryu. So this card is nice because you can see a lot of our effects involve tributing cards. And so being able to use this card, having it on the board, and we tribute a monster, we can extend our plays from there. And you can see that it actually says special summon 1 level 6 or lower wind spellcaster type monster from your deck. So obviously if we had Kieran, that'd be really great, and I'll talk about that a little bit more once we get to Kieran. Then I run 1 copy of Magister Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. So when this card is Exceed Summon, you can add 1 Pendulum monster for your deck to your hand during the end phase of this turn. And then once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card and special summon 1 face-up Draco Slayer Pendulum monster from your extra deck. This is a bit of an extender. It is going to give you something to do next turn, and then being able to summon out the extra Draco Slayer can be nice. 1 copy of Totem Bird because we do have a couple level 3 monsters, and being able to exceed into the spell trap negate is solid. Then we have Axis Go Talker because it's a solid link monster, just a staple. Same thing with Appaloosa, pretty easy to get out. 1 copy of Exceed the Pendulum. So this card is powerful because it can get somewhat beefy, not crazy beefy, but just gonna increases the attack a decent bit. But not only that, but when it's link summon, you can add 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, and then during the main phase, you can special summon 1 Pendulum monster from your hand or grave in defense position with a level between the 2 Pendulum skills. It's a free summon, and it's able to recycle a few things into your hand. 1 copy of Wind the Wind Charmer, just because we do have wind spellcaster monsters, and being able to get something out could be good. If your opponent's running Droll, that's going to be great just to extend from that. One copy of SP Little Knight, because this is kind of the staple card right now. It's annoying, and yeah, it just adds another form of interaction. 3 copies of New here. So this card is going to be able to refill your hand with the cards that you used to summon it. But not only that, but you're able to pitch 2 things from your extra deck into the from your deck into the grave, and then from there, when you put your pendulum scales, you can actually bring them out and choose which effects you use by doing that. Just know that once you activate and use effect here, you are going to be locked into Majespecter or Draco Slayer monsters, so make sure to summon everything out that you want to summon before you go into this. 1 copy of Beyond the Pendulum. So this card, when it's link summoned, you can pay 1200 life points and add 1 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. But for the rest of the turn, unless you pendulum summon after this, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effects of any cards in your pendulum zones are negated. And then if 2 monsters with the different origin levels are special summoned at the same time, you can target 2 cards in the field, destroy them. So you can see it's a pendulum searcher while also able to pop 2 cards in the field. Alright guys, for the side deck, here are cards that I want you to consider, or just cards that I want you to think about for the future. So the first card here is Majespecter Unicorn Kieran. So it's still banned, which sucks, but Kieran is a very powerful monster, and if we are able to get this back on Majespecter, we could see, like I said, with the Exceed monster, we can actually get this out relatively easily, and it'll just give you another form of interaction. You're going to see in the combos video how you can get this out. Then we have 1 copy of Dino Stir Power, the Mighty Draco Slayer. So this card could be good if you want to run it. I mean, it's going to be great just for increasing your overall defenses of your Pendulum monsters, because Pendulum monster cards in your monster zones and Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. I just decided not to run it because Majespecters here are generally pretty protected with their effects. Didn't think it was super necessary. 1 copy of Majespecter Storm in case you want a way to clear your opponent's board a bit during your turn, and then 1 copy of Majespecter Supercell, because same thing as kind of the fusion monster here, it can add a bit of protection, except with this it's just kind of with effect negation. It's just that it's a little bit difficult to get out just because it is a trap. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.